good places. You like to cry, that's why you're my favorite. You got a smile that make you look amazing, and that's just why I gotta see you daily. Don't care what time, just make sure you made it. Okay, like throw that baby, and she wanna hold that baby. That page just so that, and you don't like, that's why you're my favorite. I roll the dice, make sure there's no babies, and you don't mind, that's why you're my favorite. Okay, like go that baby, she wanna throw that baby. Okay, like hold that, and you don't mind, that's why you're my favorite. I roll the dice, that's why you're my favorite.
I roll the dice, hope I hit 11. You still can fly, you post to left at 7. Just take your time, we'll head out when you ready. I ain't gon' leave you, you ain't never left me. My name and diamonds sitting on your necklace. That's unnecessary, why you text me? The city got too much influence, move you out to Texas. I'll buy you everything you got from them, fuck all your exes. You drive me crazy with them little dresses, I love your complexion. I bought my head, you said I felt it, think our souls connected. Your heart of mine come from the factory, got you out here flexing. 100 grand spent on your necklace, you my little reflection. Think you're my best investment.
You all online tryna look good places. You like to cry, that's why you're my favorite. You got a smile that make you look amazing, and that's just why I gotta see you daily. Don't care what time, just make sure you made it. Okay, like throw that baby, and she wanna hold that baby. That page is so that, and you don't like, that's why you're my favorite. I roll the dice, make sure there's no babies.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another motherfucking episode of the Black Girl Overthinking podcast. I am your host, Ariami. Yes, I know you love me. I love you just as much. Some of you guys may know me as Ray, like the ray of sunshine that comes and brightens up your life, which from some of y'all am I overthinking or what questions I can tell you deeply need. But anyway, girl, we really be out here almost flatlining over a good morning text and somebody's emotionally unavailable son. Like, we will sit in silence and overthink ourselves into oblivion and then blame our whole existence on why he ain't text back yet. Why are we doing this to ourselves? I don't know. So let's be real. Dating with the anxious attachment style is like constantly auditioning for a role that was never meant to be yours in the first place. You keep on showing up with all this love and all this hope and all this vulnerability, and the room keeps on emptying on you. The spot was never yours to begin with. So today we're unpacking it all, from the little girl ache in our chest when we feel ignored to the ways we abandon ourselves just to feel chosen. Even if it's only for a moment. This episode is for the girls who feel like they gotta beg for softness, beg for clarity, and even for something that we all should be a given: peace and the bare minimum. And I want you to know, if you're watching this and you are a supporter of the show, you are not crazy. You're just loving from a place that still needs tending to. But after today, we reclaiming our nervous system back. We relearning what safe love feels like. First with ourselves, though, because we deserve that much. I'm keeping it a bean with y'all with these real topics, because the TL been looking like a collective trauma response. Every week it's another situationship crashing and burning in real time, soft ghosting, vibing with no intentions, DM good morning that lead nowhere. Y'all saw that TikTok? The girl said she went on 4 dates with a man and still didn't know his last name. Yeah, baby. Pop culture and glamorized confusion. We done made red flags into aesthetics. When you have an anxious heart, it's dangerous, because we don't just catch feelings, we attach our worth to how consistent someone is with us, and that's where you fucking up at. Breadcrumb love becomes our diet. We convince ourselves we're full of scraps, and that's exactly how our nervous system stays in fight or flight mode. Over-functioning, overthinking, over-explaining, which if you watch the second episode that we did, we really dive deep into over-explaining and why we get into that. And I see that y'all fuck with the episode, so I'm glad. That means we're going in the correct direction. I feel like, and I've said this multiple times, y'all are my people. Y'all are my family, and I love y'all, so I can be very authentic and real with y'all. So I'm finna tell y'all like it is, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. I remember sitting by my phone refreshing my messages like I was trying to catch a miracle. My heart was beating like a fucking protest drum because I had to wait 2 hours for a fucking text back. But the thing is, it wasn't even about him texting back. It was more so about the little version of me who was scared of being forgotten, of not being good enough. It just was. I fucked that up. Silence is punishment. But what's really going on is anxious attachment be having us in survival mode 24/7. We're not just scared to lose the person, we're scared of what their distance confirms, which is maybe I'm too much. Maybe I'm hard to love. Maybe if I just show more effort, more loyalty, more softness, more love, then this internal contract we signed in childhood, if I over forgive, maybe I'll be safe. Maybe I won't be left. Maybe I'm not gonna feel like everybody else because, I'm special. I got all of this shit going on for me. And when you grow up not feeling emotionally safe, your nervous system learns to confuse chaos for connection. And that's why a lot of us be ending up in these toxic ass relationships and not knowing when to leave, especially when all the flags point to, bitch, it's time to run. Breadcrumb love is not love. So we need to call it for what it is. Being addicted to emotional inconsistency is not a personality trait. It's a trauma imprint. Newsflash. And I'm gonna say that again for the ones in the back who didn't hear me. It's a trauma imprint. The men who give us just enough to keep you hoping, but not enough to keep you steady, they know exactly what the fuck they're doing and you're following exactly for what they want you to. That's not love. That's your nervous system recreating the instability it already knows because it doesn't know what safety feels like yet. So, how do we heal? How do we stop spiraling, begging, and over fucking functioning? You reclaim your nervous system, learning to pause. That moment when you feel like the panic is coming and you get the urge to double text, because I know how some of y'all are, or over explain, or break your own fucking boundaries just to feel some closeness. Your body is not in danger. Your worth is not on trial. You need to feel that fucking ache, feel that hurt, but don't act from it because you're safe now. But you have to know and feel that you're safe. When that anxiety starts to spike, talk to your inner child. Write her a love letter. This is something that I'm personally working on. Or text yourself the reassurance you wish he would send. That's how you shift the narrative. You say you're not comfortable. You shift the narrative. This is how you reclaim your nervous system. And honestly, this is stuff that I'm working on right now. Like learning to just pause and think about this shit. That moment when you feel the panic coming or that urge to double text them or over explain or break your own boundaries just to feel some closeness. Pause. Your body is not in danger. Your worth is not on trial. Feel that ache, but don't act from it. Know how easy it may feel to jump into that shit, but don't do it. Because nobody knows you better than you. So why rely or put that much on a stranger or, another person? Go sit in the sun. Move your body. Cry. Let the fucking waves pass. Take yourself on a date that doesn't require anyone else's approval. You are not abandoned. You are reparenting yourself in real time. All of us are. We all trying to figure this shit out. I always tell y'all that. We're all trying to figure this shit out together. Romanticize your peace over the fucking panic. It's so easy to panic. Choose peace. I didn't even put my damn tip on when I did that blunt. It's okay. Now my nails is gonna smell like weed. I hate that. But you are not abandoned. I feel like a lot of us, especially me, and this is why I'm so proud of myself, because at first I used to have a really hard time giving myself praise because I never felt like I was doing enough. So it was very hard for me to stop what I was doing and just be like, damn, when I make it to my first goal post, or my second or my third, and I've checked off literally almost everything on my goal board for this year, and the year's not even over, but last year as well, and I'm so happy about that. But instead of me stopping at the goalpost and like, you know, just having a serene moment and giving myself the grace that I have earned, it's just like, okay, I took a lot to get here, and I worked my ass off. Like I pat myself on the back a lot now, but at first it was very hard for me to do that. And even now though, like I am getting better at it, but I still have to catch myself and be like, okay, relax. Like you just did this is a big fucking deal. A lot of people your age aren't even doing that. Like that's number one. Or, you know, people just have these mush minds now, and they don't feel like they have to do the work when it comes to some shit. So, and I really hate that. Or a lot of things just be given to people, which I can't even front because I benefit from that as well. You know, just from having fucking pretty privilege and knowing the people that I do. So I gotta keep it being with that. Characteristics that I have adapted, whether that be intentionally or unintentionally, if I don't like them about myself, I'll reparent myself about it. Like I'm going to look up the best way that I can to overcome this, or to like change my mindset. Baby steps, and you will get to your long-term goal. But even like shit like this, like my anxious attachment style, I am so anxious, and it's just like, because I have jumped out of one relationship where I feel like was healing to my anxious attachment style, but also triggering as well, in the fucking same sense. I'm just trying to work through it, you know. I don't like when it's so evident. It's like sometimes I catch it if my friends call it out, of course. Like they'll tell me like, you know, you do this, or you this is how you responded to this. Or like they'll be rereading something that I said, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I did not want to come off as like this clingy brat, or like this girl who needs constant reassurance 24/7, which that's okay if I'm giving it to myself, but like from somebody else, it's so cringe. Cause why did I do that? Because I want it. But I'm trying to go through that though. When it comes to the people that you're in a relationship with, they really get to learn you, and they have this advantage because it's not like, you know, like when your mom is learning you and knowing what kind of person it is that you are, just because of them spending every single day of their lives with you, and, you know, having that connection. But it's like, this is a different level. It's more intimate and more personal, a different kind of love, and someone just sees you in a different vision or out of different spectacles than the person who loves you, that is your family. At least me. Let me say me. Like, I do want to be comfortable, but I don't want them to think like illy of me on purpose. If you're gonna think something weird about me, or think something like crazy about me, I would much rather you like form that opinion yourself than me tell you. Like, I would rather you gather that yourself on your own, just how you've been like spending time with me, or things that you've been observing about me. Cool. But I don't want you to like see that purposefully from me on accident. So I want to like keep, like, I don't know, hopefully this is making sense and y'all keeping up with me, but I want to keep it cute. Like, I don't want to be toxic on purpose to you, or do some toxic shit like on purpose. Like, if anything, I want you to notice that and then bring it to my attention so that I can fix it, but also in a healthy way, in a healthy manner, please. Because it's not always about what you say, it's how you say it. A lot of people need to remember that. That's like basic. Basically, I said all of that shit to say you reparenting yourself in real time and just like give it more grace. We've been raised to think that love is supposed to hurt a little, and that if that's not the dynamic, or if that's not the situation, then that's not really love. And that is the most farthest thing from the fucking truth. And I really wish that more people got that and got it on the first try. They didn't have to go through all of that fucking pain and suffering and healing and realization. Like, I just wish it was, for lack of better words, clean, straight through, just clean, easy. But it's not. Another thing that goes along with us supposed to thinking that love is supposed to hurt a little is that also, if it's not dramatic, then it's not real. And that's why you have so many pick-me's now. That shit is annoying. And it can be dramatic in a healthy, like, beautiful way. But the way that it's been exhibited these days, everybody just wants some attention. Like, they just want to feel like they have the it factor. Or the, I'm special enough to get treated like this. Self-validation. But validation from other people. If it ain't dramatic, it ain't real. But I want you to start turning towards consistency and stability. The kind of love that don't make your heart race out of fear, but out of joy. Because that shit exists. And when you finally do get your first glimpse of a love like that, it resets your nerve system. And it helps bring you down to this, what could I say? It helps bring you down to like this level of just security. And also being in love like that, it helps you to have more peace for yourself. Like when your partner is reassuring those kind of things over you, that makes you want to be gentle with yourself. Because it's like, if you see me worthy of this much love and affection and thoughtfulness, then like, why wouldn't I see myself with all of that as well? It's like, thank you for helping me to see that. Everybody's relationship is not like that. And I do be forgetting that. I'm not gonna lie with y'all. Sometimes I do be like thinking of closed-minded. But I don't know if that's the right word that I should be using. But like, for example, my friends, well, this is just some things though, but my friends will tell me like some things that happened to them in like their previous relationships, or like, I can't even say now, actually. Yeah, some things that are happening now. And sometimes it will be hard for me to like grasp or connect with them on some things because I've never had that issue, or that's not something that I have went through. So it just be hard for me to be like damn, give you some advice, because it's just like, what? I be trying to put myself in their shoes. Like, okay, if I was, but then I don't know. I'm trying to get better at that, because I do come off as like judgmental at some things also because of that reason. Because it's like, I do not know what you're talking about. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to get myself out of that situation, because I would never put myself in a predicament to be put in that situation, So I just be learning, and I be shook. That most of all, I just be shook. And that's also why I love my friendships as well, because we are all so different. Like, we truly all come from a different background, but that is what equally helps us ground each other as well. And I don't know why it's like that. It's weird, because we come from these fucking different backgrounds. It's like, how are y'all able to connect so well with each other that you ground each other and you help each other feel heard and seen, very reassuring, very loving, very compassionate, very sweet, very dramatic, a little crazy, a little side eye, like you are 2 steps away from being in a rehabilitation center. But I'm gonna let you make it because I love you. Some of my family members are like that too. But no, that's so beautiful. I love that we can all come and like be there for each other, even though we do have these diverse lives. Or we've had like a lot of the same childhood experiences. We all love Hannah Montana. We love Disney down. We love fucking Proud Family, Tinkerbell, like all the real cutesy shit. The Bratz doll, y'all know I love. Y'all know how much I love my Bratz dolls. Look at me. I embody a Bratz doll. How could I not love them? It's not even just about like relationship stuff, because like I said, a lot of like our traumas and our shit, they all stem from fucking childhood shit. And it's so crazy because growing up, when I used to watch certain movies, the therapist in a movie, that's the first thing that they say, what happened in your childhood? Tell me about your childhood. But it's really like that. And that's crazy. That is so crazy to me. So a lot of us have come from a different background, and that means we feel love differently. We see love differently, how it's displayed. We all have these different aspects that we're all trying to like peek into, because even sometimes when I be telling them shit, they do not be understanding me, or they'll be like, they'll try to give me advice as best as they can based on how much they can grasp or like identify with what it is what my problem is, because they're not getting the full like scope of it. I don't know. But yeah, so we'll feel like if love ain't dramatic, then it ain't real. Like you gotta do this or you don't love me. Like, do y'all be seeing those posts, which shamelessly I do be reposting on my Instagram story? Do y'all be seeing those posts where they be like, how I'm supposed to know you love me if you don't show up to my house with some flowers? How I'm supposed to know you love me if you don't leave me a stack just randomly, just cause? How I'm supposed to know that you think about me if you don't blow my phone up 24/7? How I'm supposed to know that you love me if you don't text me every day, all hours of the day? It's getting a little fishy. But that's not realistic. And I want you to start turning toward consistency, stability, the kind of love that'll make your heart race out of fear, but out of joy. Peace is not boring. It does come off as boring sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. And I had that problem in Greece. Oh my gosh, y'all. That's why I was so ready to come home, because it was so fucking peaceful that I was like, no, I need to get back home where there's just a teensy bit of chaos, or like I can hear my baby running around my house, playing with his game, playing with the dog, my dog's little claws click-clacking across the fucking hardwood floor, and my music blasting, like, or somebody's calling me, or I'm hearing a text alert because somebody need me. Like, it'd be a lot going on. I needed that. But I'm out here in front of the fucking ocean, barely hearing the waves. It's nobody out here because I'm the only person that's in my hotel. People not disturbing me because it's my birthday. So they don't want to disturb me. And I'm just like sitting there. Oh, I had my fucking weed too. So I'm over here smoking. Yeah, that's gonna fucking make me feel even more calm. But I had to live in that for fucking almost 2 weeks. And I was just like, honestly, not only that, the island was on what's it called? It was their off season. So there were no people on the island for real other than some people that live there. So it was even, a lot of places was closed. I'm like, God damn, it's too peaceful here. I have nothing to like tend to. All the plans I was making was for me to relax for the whole time that I'm here. Like, oh my goodness. I needed something. Like, I couldn't even go to a club or nothing. Like, I honestly, and Greece is just such a spiritual place, which I didn't know. But Greece is such a spiritual place that you're gonna sit there and you're gonna think about your life and your life choices and how you got to where you are, especially if you're celebrating something as big as your birthday. So I got to do a lot of that. I spent a lot of time with myself, especially in my room. My hotels were gorgeous. Oh my gosh. It wasn't even a hotel. One was a villa and one was a hotel, but the suite that I had definitely was, man, it was gorgeous. I really loved it, but it was just so quiet. I got to spend a lot of the time in the hotel and figure out what I wanted to eat every morning for breakfast, because they had this little card thing. The breakfast was complimentary and they made it from scratch and everything was fresh. Everything. It was so good. So that's like, I really had to do things that like cater to me, which I love. But anyway, Greece is getting off topic. All of that was, peace is not boring. Peace is not boring. It's the revolution your nervous system's been craving. So get into it. I'm gonna give you guys the challenge of the week, and we're gonna call it the Save Yourself Sis Challenge. I want you to write a bare minimum contract with yourself. This is your declaration of what your heart requires. It's non-negotiable, which means it's not up for debate. List 5 non-negotiable feelings you deserve in every connection. For example, I must feel seen, not just looked at. I must feel emotionally safe. I must feel like my feelings are valid, even when I'm vulnerable. I must feel prioritized, not just entertained. I must feel like I belong, not like I'm auditioning. And put that contract somewhere sacred to you, like your mirror or your altar or your lock screen, if you like me. And anytime you feel yourself shrinking or spiraling out, pull that out and remember who the fuck you are. I think it's about time I give y'all a story time. So there was this recent situation, cute little connection, texting all day, vibing, real flirty, sending the memes, the vibes. But then he started spacing out on his responses, and I felt that familiar tension start to rise. That stomach tightened, my mind started racing, I'm feeling like I did something wrong. The old me would have panicked though. That would have sent the hey, just shaking hands, or would have tried to fix the silence that I didn't even cause. But the new me said, "You're not gonna make me fight for crumbs when I bring the whole table." So I closed the thread and I put on my soft dress. I took my baby to the park, spent some time with my bestie, laughed, breathed. Like, girl, I really almost had myself in the trenches behind a man who ain't even know how to spell reciprocation. So the growth is there, and I'm very proud. I felt myself start to go there, but I was like, nah, and you don't deserve that, so I'm not gonna deal with it. Anyway, we're gonna get into my favorite part of the show, and that is the Am I Overthinking or What segment. And that's where y'all send me in your questions and your dynamics, and I tell y'all my little 2 cents on if you're spiraling, or if you're doing too much, or what you should have did, what you maybe should not have done, anything of that nature. We'll get into the first question. Let's see what y'all have sent me this week. Last week, y'all was on something. Okay, this question is from somebody anonymous. They didn't put their name, but they said, "Why is it always niggas that ain't your type be treating you the best?" Like, damn, now I feel bad. Girl, please. That's not even an overthinking thing. That's a universal fucking phenomenon at this point. It's always the ones who don't even match the aesthetic or the vibe that you thought that you wanted. You know, like they come in all soft and consistent and emotionally available, communicative, and then suddenly you sitting there like, wait, maybe I don't need a tatted narcissist who only texts me after 11:30 at night. But here's the real see. Sometimes your type is just a trauma template with good cheekbones and a nice ass body. It's not that the good ones aren't your type. It's that your nervous system. Oh, I feel like my boob coming out. Yeah, your nervous system ain't used to feeling safe. So when somebody is good to you, it almost feels boring. Like I was talking about earlier, when shit is too peaceful, it starts to get boring. But yeah, boring or suspicious, or it might be like a setup. But you're not wrong for feeling weird about it. That, damn, now I feel bad. That's just your ego grieving the version of you who thought chaos is chemistry. And don't worry, you're not the only one. Yeah, I'm literally still going through shit like that, but not as much though. So yeah, I feel like I'm doing a lot better. But listen, alignment don't always look like how we imagined it or how we wanted to. And sometimes your soulmate pull up looking like somebody you would have swiped left on in 2018. But they see you and they hold space for you and love you like it's their fucking job. And that's not a bad thing. So no, you're not overthinking it. You're just unlearning what love should look like and finally getting what it's supposed to feel like. Now go text that man back and stop playing. What it mean if a nigga do more for his baby mama than you and y'all are dating? Like when it comes to shit, he always broke, but his baby mama called and he just got money on the spot. First of all, your intuition just read him fulfilled. Like before your mouth could catch up. When he claiming he broke with you, but suddenly turned into a human Cash App notification for when his baby mama hit him up, that's not about being a father. That's about being prioritized. She's like that. He's prioritizing her. That's feeding her ego. And what he's showing you is that you're not at the top of his list. You're not even next in line. You somebody somewhere in the parking lot waiting for a table he never reserved. And you deserve better. Now, I'm going to say this gentle, but be real with you. A man will always find a way to provide for what he values, and as he should. But if he ain't got it for you, it's because he's not trying to have it for you. You just have to accept it. But let's be clear. It's not about competing with his baby mama. That's not your lane. That's a parenting relationship. And ideally, yes, he should show up for his child. But if he's using her as an excuse to neglect you, and to gaslight you or to fucking move like you disposable, then baby girl, that's not co-parenting. That's emotional triangulation. It's giving, let me keep you emotionally invested while I do the bare minimum and hope you stay grateful for the crumbs that I give you. I don't know, just reading that message, you don't give me the vibe that you're the type of woman to accept bullshit like that. So what it means is this. He's still performing for somebody he feel like he gotta prove something to, and it's not you. And that's just what it is. And if you keep on sticking around hoping he gonna wake up and realize that you deserve the same energy because you feel like you do, then you're gonna keep overdrafting your heart for a man who won't even meet you halfway. But you're not asking for too much. He's just showing up with too little to give. And don't let him spin a block on you or on your piece just because he's too broke to pay attention. I want better for you. The next question. Hey, Yami, I have a question for you. Is it possible for you to know a person for a minute and then out the blue they say, I'm interested in you, and y'all start talking and you cut your number one dude off for that person and the shit just happens overnight? Or do that mean they've been talking to that person for a minute and they just so happen to cut you off? This happened to me in my fucking marriage. This is how I got cheated on, and it's the worst fucking feeling in the world. First of all, that overnight love, that sudden, I'm interested in somebody else now energy, 9 times out of 10 it ain't new. That was a soft launch. You just caught on to it. What you saw was the trailer, but that movie been in production. It's very rare that somebody just wake up one morning and develop some deep interest in a whole new person with no prior seeds planted. Believe me, baby, it does not work like that. So if he moved on quick and he cut you off like a subscription trial, then he was already emotionally clocking on to that girl while still clocked in with you physically. Sometimes people keep folks in rotation as placeholders, just to feed on to their fucking ego until the option that they really want give them the green light. Like, yeah, come reel that in. I'm ready for you. It sucks, but you was the safe one. And you probably were emotionally available to him at the time, or somebody that he could lean on, but not in the way that he was trying to build with you. Or you probably knew that, like, what y'all was doing, but you just didn't see it coming. So no, I don't think you're overthinking it. I feel like you just caught the aftershock of a decision that he'd been low-key preparing for while pretending everything was sweet and dandy and peaches and cream with you. That confusion that you feel, that's the betrayal. And it's dressed up like it just happened fast. Like, nah, it happened sneaky. And you need to call a spade a fucking spade. Be real. Let his ass go. Anybody who can leave you for somebody else without a real conversation, without closure, without care, without clarity, they was already operating out of dishonesty, and you do not deserve that. You didn't lose a spot. You exited a fucking setup. And honestly, that is a beautiful divine protection with a disrespectful delivery. And trust me, the way that karma is gonna spin that block, he not gonna know what the fuck hit him. And believe me, he gonna come crawling back. It ain't personal. It's patterns. And you don't beg to be kept. You observe. You grieve and you elevate. You let people miss out on you. And we just talked about that last episode. And y'all probably gonna look at this and be like, why is she yelling at me? I'm not yelling at you. It's just that, like, I feel like I'm talking to my little sister and myself. So I'm able to identify with it, and it's just making me like all the more passionate about it, because these niggas be playing, and that shit will tweak the way that you think. Like, it'll fuck your head up if you let it. That's it for all of the am I overthinking and what questions. Again, if you guys want to send in your am I overthinking or what questions, you can feel free to DM me on any of our social media channels, whether that be Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all of those. We just don't have a Snapchat. You can call me. I do want y'all to start calling me. I'm going to say this every episode until y'all start sending in them fucking DMs. I mean, stop sending in those DMs and start sending in some voicemails. Stop being shy. That's how you can send in your am I overthinking or what questions, and it may be featured on the next episode. I might have to get you together. So there's that. My top keep just having its own little plans for this episode, but we're not going to let her ruin it. Even though, you know, she's kind of like the star of the show. Let's give thanks for the you who keeps choosing love, even when it's scary. For your nervous system, for trying to protect you even when it gets overwhelmed. For your higher self, the version of you that knows peace is your fucking birthright. So with that, I want you to repeat with me with your beautiful ass. I no longer beg for love that was never ready for me. I am safe inside my own arms. I choose peace over panic. I water myself before I bleed for anybody else. And then you sit back and you adjust your crown. It might have tilted a little bit, but that's okay. You have an excuse. We are going through some very treacherous times right now. You just flick that baby right back front and center where it belongs, and you listen. You are not crazy. You just loving with a heart that hasn't been protected enough. That ends now, right now. Protect your heart like it's your last name. And move like your love is expensive. Out of this world. Just like you. Let peace be your new standard. Not the prize you gotta earn. Healing your attachment style is not about becoming cold or distant or mean. Or sometimes you do gotta be mean so motherfuckers can listen. It's about becoming clear. Because the healed version of you, the one who doesn't chase and don't beg nobody for shit and doesn't spiral behind silence, she gonna be a dangerous motherfucker in the most divine way. And you are not too much. You the whole ocean. I love you. And I care about you. And I am so thankful for you tuning into today's episode. But until the next time, keep on overthinking with intention, baby. And just make sure you overthink your worth and not your wounds. I love you guys with all of my heart. And I can't wait to see you in the next episode. If you feel like this video or just this podcast in general could help anybody that you know, whether that be friends, family, or foe, send them the link, ho. Love you. Peace out.